During the spring when it puts out all that stuff.
You didn't have a garage over at your other place, did you?
We did, but Renee parked under there.
Oh.
Now this is one of the dogwood trees. I don't know if it's going to make it. It doesn't look too good.
Oh, you just planted those?
Nope, they were here.
Oh, they were here.
And we got these red tips I've been working on. A whole row of them up through there.
Well, they really, it's amazing how they fill in.
This is a brand new camera. Our other one went kaput. When we'll watch this video on the that's a big old eucalyptus tree. Are you familiar with them?
Boy, look at that. There's some bark that's very good. Oh, that's really fixed up.
Crinkle that stuff up and smell it. Eucalyptus. That's where you get your menthol from.
Is that what
You can put that in the house and it'll make the house smell good.
Wow.
I'm working on these little pine trees, getting them a lot of fertilizer and stuff. And here's some more of my red tips. I read this article about going what they call cutting off all the dead limbs and stuff. I think the thing called it dead ending. But I've been working on those a little bit. This is a plum tree or some sort. It just had a bunch of white blooms.
Well, it's amazing. This is one of the most mild winters that I've ever remember of.
Yeah, they keep thinking we're still going to get a little bit of winter. This is a...
They were really coming over the news up there in Spartanburg, very concerned about the peach growers.
This is a gumball tree, and I don't like it. I'm threatening to cut it out because it puts these little gumballs all over the ground.
Yeah.
And there's still a million of them up in that tree, it seems like.
It's interesting, you got quite a variety of them.
Okay, today is March the 22nd, Saturday, 1997.
Oh, that's a pretty fine tree,
Yep, I cut a bunch of that stuff out of the bottom. This has little blueberries that comes off of it. Cedar tree of some sort. This is... Pissy! Come on, doofus. This is the old well house here. And boy, I cut that rose bush, I cut it down to the quick.
Now, you still have your own well?
Yeah, over here it is.
Really?
Freddy's pad. Now here's my muscadine thing. We had a bunch of muscadines off of it last year, and I don't think it was cut back, so I'm really expecting a bumper crop.
Well, there's a lot of good building land.
Here's my little compost pile. That thing was as tall as my head when the first time I cut the grass.
Did you just spread it out over the...
Yeah, I've been putting a bunch of it different places around the trees and things. Now this is one kind of muscadine tree, and here's where I was talking about it bleeding. Let me get a picture of one of the things that still has a lot of moisture. It's just been pouring moisture out of those things. I can't remember what the deal is, but these are two different kinds of muscadines. This one doesn't have a leaf on it, but the one in the back does.
They're both muscadine, but they're...
I used to eat a bunch of those muscadines when I'd go to school in the morning or in the afternoon. And this is the property we're gonna buy this property right back here, all the way down to the roads. And I'm seriously considering putting some goats back here.
Oh, how about that?
Because I think I can. You're not supposed to have livestock in your property, but I don't think anybody will complain about letting them come up under the shed there in the winter.
Yeah, let them.
And there's a dogwood tree back there. That thing is mighty.
The road runs up there.
Yeah, this is the Highway 21.
In other words, you would buy it over to the highway?
It's almost an acre. But down the road, it could be prime real estate.
Yeah, you never know.
My little goats would think it's prime anyway. I didn't bring my key with me. There are a dogwood tree back in there.
Man, that's a pretty big house. I didn't realize from the back here you see how big your house is.
Come on, sassy frass. Come on. Yeah, she's just a tree dog. She don't try to take trouble all the time. Christy, go get the... Now this dogwood tree here has a different color in it. I don't think it has getting enough nourishment. Yeah, there's Prissy too. We'll get Prissy in the picture. Oh yeah, the dogwood. For some reason Prissy's limping around these days.
Yeah, these would be, this time of the year, they'd be...
Those things are pampas grass. And I got the wild urge. I was down at Myrtle Beach and they cut them down to the ground, so I cut mine back to the ground when I got back up here. Man, those things are growing like a weed. Those things would be 6 feet tall.
In other words, where you cut them back, they sprout right back out.
Oh man, I left my key up there. There's where we keep a lawnmower. The guy had a TV hooked up in there and it has a water and stuff.
Yeah, it's sort of a shop there, huh?
Uh-huh. It has a garage door on the front. And this is a...
You've got a nice piece of property here, man.
Now Mom can give me an idea of what I should do around this fence, because I am not going to cut that little hill there around that fence. I'm thinking about several different things.
You mean planting something on the around the bank on it, or?
I'm thinking about using those railroad ties and build it up so there's a walkway around there with a vine coming off of the walkway, and planting something up around the walkway or something. I'm not sure. We got some pretty roses off of this last year, and I cut it back real good too. It needed to be cut back again too, but I hadn't.
Now you've been here, when did you move here?
I had to answer a question on my jury thing. We've been here 8 months, I think.
8 months.
6 months or so. This is our prettiest dogwood tree. And this will be a little holding pen that I'll use for the goats. But I think I can take a fence and put them under that shed there.
Well, I had goats on the farm, and boy, I'll tell you, they can be the meanest thing.
Yeah.
I took me an old express wagon that was coming apart, and took the front wheels off of it, and built a box over the front wheels and put a shaft on it, and fixed up a harness for this big old goat we had. And I was gonna let him take me for rides. And the first time I hooked him up was around the back of the barn, and he started down around, the curve of the driveway came down around the side of the barn. He came down around there, and I was in the cart. I thought I could steer him like a horse. And man, you couldn't steer him, and he came flying down around there, and we had back in those days, you had an underground gas tank for your tractors and things.
Right.
And we put a little old hand pump on this gas, and had a vent pipe stand about that high come out above the ground.
Uh-huh.
And I did everything to steer that goat to keep him over on the driveway, and he took off down through the grass down in front of the barn, and took off down through there, and went right smack over that vent pipe. He jumped over it, and the vent pipe was just about 2 inches too high for the cart.
Tore it up, huh?
And the cart caught on this vent pipe. I flew out over the front of the cart. I must have been 11 or 12 years old, and I flew out over the front of the cart, and the shafts just tore the bolts and nails right out of it. And You've got a beautiful shade tree.
Now this is a peach tree right here, and we're concerned about these, if those are moths, the little caterpillars there. I don't have any idea how to...
They're just coming out, huh?
But I don't want them on that tree if it's going to be bad for the peaches. So we're debating about whether to...
Oh, yes, I see what you're talking about now.
Yeah. See them on there?
Yeah.
Now what kind of little worm is that, you think?
I don't think they'd be good for the peaches, though.
Now this tree right here we might want to move up beside the house. Renee and I are thinking...
You're talking about the green one down there?
Yep.
That one there, that's a pretty one.
I don't know what kind that is, but we need a tree, and I'll show you.
Well, the folks that lived here must have had some animal or something that they, with that pen that they had.
Yeah, they had only dogs.
Oh.
Now this dogwood tree right here is right beside the septic tank, which is right about there. And so that's the reason why it looks so healthy. I got me a little timer over here. You pick this timer here. Yeah, it's right down there where Freddie's pad is. That little doghouse is underneath the well. You see?
Each one of these homes have their own wells in them.
Right. Now they just brought city water down to the corner.
Uh-huh.
They just did it.
So they'll gradually get it run out.
Take a picture of liquid diamonds here.
I guess you want this gate closed, though.
Yeah, please close that. Renee says this is a Japanese something or another. And there's Daddy over there.
That's a nice plant.
That's a Japanese, Renee, some kind of Japanese oak or something. And these dogwood trees over here.
You've got a nice place here.
And I think this is the state flower over here. This is our yellow jasmine. I got me a bunch of ants I'm working on. Need to get the...
Yeah, this is ant season.
This is by far the biggest yard I've ever had. Yellow jasmine there. And let me take a quick walk around these azaleas. We're going to do some major trimming on these. You can see these little holes in the ground. I pulled an aerator over the whole yard the last time I mowed it. See those little...
Oh, yeah.
Now this, look at this azalea. Boy, isn't that looking good?
Boy, this whole thing's going to... Boy, those are pretty.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe our neighbors cut these back because I don't think they did any work. But whatever, those sure look, that's about as full of azalea as I've ever seen.
Yeah, those are really...
And we're not sure we want... We're not sure we want to keep that magnolia tree there.
Certain stages they're pretty, but then they can...
They got those big old nasty leaves. Yeah, you can see I'll be poking around here with my aerator. But this is some more of the pampas grass.
Yeah.
You can see where I was cutting a bunch of stuff off of them and I left them there. At least I think I cut that off. Yeah, I haven't picked them up yet.
You've got almost a small farm here.
Yeah, it's gonna keep me busy. I've been really enjoying working in the yard. It's very therapeutic from the church work. And we got those pansies up there.
Because you've got the benefit of neighbors like that, but they're not close together.
Yeah, we came in and drove the car down through here because the deer were in the yard.
You say the deer, there was deer in the yard?
Yep, they were right in here. When we drove up, they were over there, and when they saw us coming, they moved down across the yard, and I drove the car back in here. I wanted to see where they would go.
How about that? Well, I have in the last couple of years, there where we're at, I guess they just left because there got to be too many people around.
Yeah.
When we first came there was a lot of deer.
Well, so a lot of people won't drive the road between us and the church because there's so many deer out there where they're afraid that they hit them. Now I put all these rain gutters up. There was too much water getting up underneath the house, and the inspector, and so you can see here I put these spouts here.
You put them up yourself?
Yep. I put them up, and they got the spouts coming down. They go down, and they come into here. This thing runs all the way up to the driveway. And when I drove, I had to dig the pipe underneath the sidewalk there. Man, that was the hardest job I've ever tackled. That thing underneath there was compacted. It comes down to here on a pipe, and then from here out to the end there, it's one of those pipes that has holes in it.
Oh yeah.
With the hose sticking down over gravel.
So it can soak into that.
It really works quite well because you can come out here when it's raining and the water's just flowing through there. These are dwarf Nordania, something like that. And here, we just brought these plants out. I cut that one back, it was beat all to death. And our corn plant's about to bloom.
Now they didn't have any gutter up at all? That's good looking, you really did a good job on that.
Yeah, I did the same thing at the, and here are my bonsai workings.
Now,
Early stages.
I see there's no gutter on the lower side down there.
I'm not sure, I may come back and add that, but I don't. Now Renee does so good at taking the weeds out of here. I just like to get the tiller and go through there myself. Now I'm kind of excited about this. Uh-huh. It was a mess. Now this is a pink dogwood tree here.
Well, now what was run along here?
Well, the same thing. I ran the pipe all the way up here so that it catches water coming off the driveway.
Oh, I see.
And this keeps it because it was having trouble because the water was going underneath the house, leaving it too damp. Okay, that's our basic tour here. Oh, we got to go back to the swimming pool. Well, you get tired. You and Mom get tired of living in Spartanburg. You know where you can come.
Well, I'll tell you, it's amazing with all of you children. We had 3 long-distance calls from Happy. I don't know whether you heard about this situation, but her and Ed got deeply involved with an Episcopal church down there. And
there's that sweet lady right now.
Happy, they got involved with it because they got acquainted with the pastor when he came there. And now the church, the leaders, the elders of the church voted to have the pastor leave, to ask him to leave. To back out and leave, and Happy and Ed became very, very unhappy about it.
Yeah, I bet you they did because they.
So Happy called us Ed called me one day, and he talked and told me a little bit about the situation, and I said maybe he wanted to have a word with them, and he said yeah, that'd be great. So he talked with her, and the reason he wanted to be sure that we prayed about this situation. And 5 minutes after he hung up, the phone rang again, and Thelma had the phone right alongside of her, so she answered it, and here was the pastor's wife. And the pastor's wife said that the reason she was calling said your daughter told us to get in touch. Said if that her mother knew how to talk things over with the Lord, and that she should call her. So she called, and they must have talked for 10 or 15 minutes, and then about 4 days later, Happy called again and said that she sure needed our prayers. She said, she said, I never thought I would get involved this deep in the politics of a church. And it's just been amazing. And then how Ted has gotten involved down there at his church. Oh, you put gutters around here too?
Yeah.
Around the back.
And I collect this water here and I put it on those dogwood trees.
Oh, you really did put some work in here.
Oh, when we first came, that was just a regular window.
Oh, how about that?
So we put the sliding glass door up there because I didn't want kids coming in and out all across the carpet.
Oh, this is nice.
I guarantee it gets quite a bit warmer down here than it did in Columbia, so we'll... and we moved in, it was just getting too cold to enjoy the pool, so...
So now you can...
I've been in it maybe 2 or 3 times and it never was pleasant.
Well, that is a nice, well laid out pool. That's good. Now, does this water coming out of that over there, does that run in the pool then?
Yep. The rainwater comes down the side of the house, and I need to put a little filtering device on it, but right now it's been helping keep the pool, and we're just believing that we're going to get plenty of rain. One thing's real pretty, you won't be able to tell it now, but they got a light that comes on out there in the pool, so it makes that thing look like a big jewel or something.
Yeah, I bet that thing.
But it's quite an art keeping it nice.
Well, it's like that fish pool we have alongside. I haven't been able to, for at least 4 or 5 months now, I haven't done a thing with it. I haven't even went out. But it required a lot of work to go out there and keep it cleaned. But with taking care of your mother and doing all the stuff that I didn't used to have to do, I feel that, in other words, I can't get around like I used to. So I figured it may be sufficient.
I heard that.
What was that floating over there?
That's a thermometer.
Oh, you sure did a lot of work in there.
Yep, I've got... One of the things I got to do is get up there and cover up the chimney, keep the bats out. Had bats in it last year.
Oh, in the chimney?
Yep.
Yeah, you need a screen over. Well, this was the first year since we've lived over there in Spartanburg that I only had fire in that furnace one night.
Oh, really? What did you do?
I didn't have much wood because I just wasn't able to get out and cut it. Because I don't feel that I don't want to leave Thelma alone very long.
Let's see.
This is nice.
You welcome to sit down?
So you're a bean girl.
Beans.
You've got a beautiful place here.
Isn't it nice?
It really is.
You just really felt like the Lord's hand was in getting us here.
I'm real thankful for it. It is amazing, Lord, how the Lord does. The Lord is one step ahead of us all the time. Have you had a chance to get to know your neighbors very much?
Yeah, I've talked to him several times. His name's Terry.